New Mexico has been one of the states slowest to recover from the recession. Job cuts in the wake of federal sequestration and declining oil revenues haven't made it any easier. So when a company announces it's expanding operations in New Mexico, it's a grand political affair. Catered ribbon cuttings, politicians coming in from all over the state, and TV crews to broadcast the good news. Here's New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez at the opening of drone company ARCA at the Las Cruces airport in New Mexico.
And today I'm proud to announce that we will be manufacturing unmanned aerial systems right here in Las Cruces. This project will create over 100 new jobs with an average salary of $52,000.
How does a private company's decision to hire staff turn into a political ceremony? By handing out state incentives, like the Local Economic Development Act, or LEADER.
It is indispensable in recruiting new businesses.
LEADER is a closing fund, taxpayer money that can be used to get an edge against other states competing for a company's expansion or relocation. And the New Mexico Economic Development Department has specific eligibility requirements to ensure that's how it's used. According to those eligibility requirements, there, quote, must be demonstrated competition for the project from out of state. We asked ARCA CEO Dumitru Popescu if any other states were competing for ARCA's relocation.
No, the answer would be no.
Obviously, it's a red flag.
That's New Mexico Senator John Arthur Smith of Deming. He chairs the Legislative Finance Committee. In this year's session, the committee questioned how responsibly LEADER funds were being spent.
LEADER's walking a fine line, and we're totally and completely reliant on how responsible each administration is with that.
While $500,000 in state incentive money was promised to ARCA by New Mexico and an additional $60,000 given by the city of Las Cruces, ARCA CEO Popescu says his company didn't even consider other states.
The most important factor that brought us here is the availability of airspace. This is one of the best places on the planet to develop aerospace technologies.
In an August interview with KRWG, New Mexico Economic Development Department Secretary John Barella said the LEADER funds include clawbacks to get incentive money back if companies don't follow through on obligations.
We basically claw back essentially the collateral that a company pledges, whether it be a bond or a hard asset, to make the state whole if those promises are not kept.
Governor Susana Martinez's office did not respond to requests for an interview, but Martinez did take the podium at ARCA's opening.
And we're proud to have companies like ARCA as partners in our efforts to diversify our economy. They're one of the most well-known companies in private space flight.
But ARCA has never flown a private space flight. In fact, ARCA wasn't even a company before it came to New Mexico. It was a Romanian non-profit that worked on European space projects. ARCA has never sold a drone, let alone produced a profit. What's more, ARCA's top executives don't have degrees in aerospace engineering, including Chief Operating Officer Chris Lang and CEO Dumitru Popescu. Popescu says it's not an issue.
Look at the cases of Steve Jobs, of Bill Gates, or other entrepreneurs. Okay, no comparison between me and these guys, but you got the idea.
But it's not on the company to prove its potential for job creation. It's on the New Mexico and Las Cruces Economic Development Departments. New Mexico State University economist Chris Erickson says there is a reason politicians have been eager to give out taxpayer money to companies like ARCA.
The reason why these programs are popular with politicians is because they're political theater. They allow politicians to get their names out in front of the public. I did this to bring this company in here.
Erickson says while incentive announcements might make for good political theatre, they don't usually generate sustained economic growth.
I like to call them the cocaine of economic development, where you use a government incentive to get a quick fix and attract a couple of jobs in the community instead of doing the hard work.
The hard work? Erickson says it takes a lot longer, and it might not make for a good press conference.
Better schools, better parks, better roads, retaining people in the community, having a well-trained, well-qualified workforce.
ARCA's first drone test flights are set for November. Manufacturing is expected to begin in May 2016. Whether ARCA flies or dies, Erickson says the real cost of many taxpayer-funded incentives is the loss of money that could be better spent on programs that do create sustained economic growth and new jobs. For KRWG, I'm Simon Thompson.